We're a couple, so we've been together now close on 4 years.
Are you ready? Let's do this. We got Adele and Andy joining us with Bandwagon TV's Joyride all the way across the pond in Staffordshire. I want to sound fancy when I say this, so please correct me that I know I'm saying it wrong, but I cannot wait to do this interview. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having us. And yeah, you're saying it right. In actual fact, I think you
sounds
say
better than when we say it.
Yeah, definitely. So I should just stick with that.
I think you guys are just being nice. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're very excited. And if you two don't mind, we would love to know a little more about you, especially our audience. If you can, please tell us a little bit about who you are, your musical background, some of the influences, and really the England, UK music scene, country music scene, all the way across the pond.
Okay, so obviously Adele and Andy, we're a couple, so we've been together now close on 4 years. When we first got together, Adele kept a secret from me that she could sing. It wasn't until, I think it was probably 6 months later, that we were having a chat one day, and she was making a comment about another singer, and I went, well, can you sing? And she kind of went, well, I'm not terrible. I managed to get her to play me a track that she'd recorded, and I was absolutely blown away. And I kind of knew at that moment that that's really what she was destined to do. So I kind of said to her, right, you're coming to an open mic. We did. I think we went for 12 weeks before Adele would actually get the courage to get up there and sing.
And it was like 3 months of every time we'd go, I'd sulk a little bit more at the fact that I hadn't plucked up the courage to actually get on stage and sing when everybody else was.
But I kind of knew, because I knew Adele had suffered quite a lot from anxiety, and she'd also been bullied a lot as a kid. And I kind of waited and said, well, you need to do it in your own time. And the night that she got up, the room went quiet because everybody knew that she wanted to do it, but they didn't really know what to expect. And she got up and sang, and it was quiet all the way through the song, and then it burst into a massive applause at the end. And as I say, at that point, it was like, right, that's what you're going to do. I suppose, to cut a long story short, you started off with a couple of other guitarists, didn't you?
I did, yeah, but it didn't really work out because that vibe wasn't there. Or it was because we've got a little boy, I've got a lot of commitment there as well as with my job. So I couldn't go out as gig as much as they wanted to. So I was like, right, Andy, come on, you need to do this with me. You need to be my spine in this situation, else I'm not going to do it. So Andy then.
Yeah, so as Brian Adams said, my fingers bled, learning to play the guitar 15 hours a week, every week religiously.
Every single day.
Until I could actually get out there and gig. And we did. We gigged for probably about 6 months, and we did 30 plus gigs, and generally it was just pub gigs. And then of course lockdown hit, and it was like, well, what are we going to do now? And we then started live streaming, and it was at that point really that we were encouraged to go down the country route. And we decided to release our first country single, which was almost 12 months ago, and it was a song called "Set You Alight." And since then, we've been very busy. We've done 3 singles, followed by a 4-track EP, and we are about to release a further EP on the 10th of September with 6 tracks, 2 of which have been released so far: "As Much as I Miss You" and "Earl." So that kind of summarises it, I think, really.
Yeah, you two have been very busy. Y'all have and so I'm we do a lot of stalking here on Bandwagon TV. We're going through social media, UK country in terms of the websites that are available, and being nominated and doing also a lot of, it looks like, live stream festivals. But I can't help it, notice the American flag in the background, and really what I guess kind of got my attention was you two have a beautiful song, and I want to say I noticed it maybe because of promotion during Memorial Day, our Memorial Day. And it's and you just mentioned it, Andy, "As Much as I Miss You." It's a beautiful song, but I wanted to talk to you about, how did that come about? And when did you write that song?
Basically, I was kind of scrolling through social media, and I saw this article where a mother was talking about a son going off to join the army, and it kind of got me thinking about how that must feel for any parent, really. And my son lives in America. He actually lives in Boston, and up until yesterday, he actually just flew over yesterday. I haven't seen him for 18 months. And I know how difficult that is. And it made me think, wow, how must that be? So I kind of started writing it, and
Andy didn't start off. He didn't go, here's a song. He went, here's a book. Can we sit and try and whittle this down a little bit? Like, I was like, geez, what's going on here?
It was a short story, really. But it kind of like, you started thinking, well, why did people go, why did people go into battle? Oh, maybe he went because his father had died. Maybe he wanted to honour his father and by joining up. And how would that work with the mother, having going through that again? And I started to tell you the story, didn't I?
I was like, it was like watching a film in my head. And because of the way Andy writes, because his storytelling's so good, I might be a bit biased, but because his storytelling's so good in his writing, it's so easy to picture it and to be able to fit a melody in with it, because you can see absolutely everything. He's proper painted a picture in my head before I've even got any chords down.
Yeah.
It's just,
but it's very helpful when Adele sits there and says, well, I can just see it straightening his collar and fastening his tie, and then I can see the mother going to the drawer flag that was left there after his father had died, and then all of a sudden the words just pour out. It's just easy once she's done that. And then before we knew it, we got a song, and we played it one night on our own, and we both burst into tears after we played it, because it was just so emotional. I would say it's our proudest moment, really.
It's both our the song that we're most proud of. And when we did the video for it as well, we wanted to get other artists involved, and that's when we learnt about all their stories, because you don't actually realise how many families have gone through it or know people who have been in the army in whichever section they've been in, and we got to learn all about their stories as well. So in the video, we wanted them to show their respect, so there's pictures of different artists, not just artists, there's radio DJs in there, and there's a picture of my granddad in there that I had from my dad, and they've all left a really nice message for them as well, which we loved getting to know about.
Yeah, it's a very beautiful song, and it caught my attention, and I'm just glad that we were able to connect. I was noticing it, we love supporting the troops, and so I just wanted to let you two know that thank you so much. I mean, it probably goes a long way, especially with families from all over, being able to listen to that.
Yeah, I mean, we've had some lovely messages. We've managed to get 80,000 views on the video, and through Facebook, and we've had all over the world. We've had stories and thanks off people, so it's been quite a humbling experience, really.
I wanted to go back to you and Andy. You'd mentioned that you started to learn how to play the guitar, I guess, and you mentioned that you two during lockdown really then started focusing on country. But have you always had a country influence?
Well, I think first of all, no, I definitely wasn't brought up with country at all. Far from it.
We like our rock music.
Yeah, pretty much, to be fair. I think it was just that, Adele's voice lent itself, and I think my storytelling, as well as Adele's voice, made it obvious, and that's what we wanted to do. Our early stuff really was based around Fleetwood Mac. We both loved Fleetwood Mac, Stevie Nicks. When we were doing covers, that was the first band that we started with. Yeah, no, I can see that. That's very cool. And I mean, you look at a lot of the 70s music, rock, everything has some country, folk, Americana influence in it. So anyways, it's been great listening to your music and sharing it. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks
for taking the time to listen to it.
Yeah, well, you're touching lives here, all here, us in America and Canadians all over the world. So it's really exciting. But Adele and Andy, I really hope you two are strapped in one of those roller coaster seatbelts, because you're going to be in for a ride with the lightning round, but we have to pull over because it can get turbulent. So here we are. We're going to pull over and get into the lightning round. Are you two ready?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, let's do this. Let's pull over. Like every episode, we promote local businesses. And before the episode, I always typically ask guests, hopefully they have a local business. And Adele, you have one specifically, a little unique to this episode. I'd love to share it. Go ahead whenever you're ready.
A cheeky plug, really, because it's my own business. I'm not ashamed
of it. Be cheeky.
It's called Images 2000. and we do a lot of personalised printing, so we do a lot of band merchandise. We've recently just done some for SW20 Country Radio and Country Music Social Media, and an artist called Paul Duke, Biddy Rennell, things like that. We do workwear, embroidering, gifts, and yeah, it's a lovely little business. The staff is nice.
Andy, you're wearing the logo. Did you guys have any part of that? Did Adele, did you design that?
Yeah, I did.
That's all Adele's work. So anything that's creative that's not words is Adele, because all I can do is write words and I don't do anything else.
That's a great match. Well, anyways, and so what is it called again, Adele?
Images 2000.
There you go. We will plug it. I appreciate that. I mean, look at, you're like a triple threat here.
We get called AAA as
We
well,
do
don't we?
Yeah, a lot do call us AAA because of obviously and Andy sort of thing. So yeah,
We promote, and I'm going to ask, I typically do, we promote our local barbecue restaurant here in Lampasas. It's called Young's Barbecue and More. It's on our website. You can read about their story. They had really a crazy year, but it's a family that's very strong and resilient and coming together, especially the town that surrounded them and supporting them. But check that out on our website at bandwagontv.com. That's bandwagontv.com, if I can say that correctly. Have you two had, I know with the trips it seems like before lockdown, but have you had Texas barbecue?
yeah, we've got a place, a smokehouse, guys, haven't we? That we go. It's called JR's Steak Smokehouse, I think.
I think it's JR's Texas Smokehouse,
Yes, it
if
is.
I'm right, and that's the
think-
closest thing
and I
we've
think the
got.
guy is from Texas, actually.
Yeah, the chef
based in
is.
That's awesome. So he's from Texas and he's doing his own smokehouse. Look at that. Well, see, now we were plugging his local business as well. See, we do, we're just helping the community here on bandwagontv.com. We're approaching the lightning round. Here we go. Are you two ready?
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, it's a typical standard question, this first one. So nothing too hard. But I always ask, since it's England and we're American, coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Tea.
Oh, look at that. Okay, now, here's some hard questions. Here we go. You two, great duo, married, but there's also been some other famous duos in the past. You know, I think like if you can consider Tim McGraw and Faith Hill, I think Trisha Yearwood and Garth Brooks. But famous ones are like Sonny and Cher or Johnny Cash and June Carter. Who do you got?
Probably go with Sonny and Cher, I would think. But yeah, I mean, I loved listening to Stevie Nicks and Don Henley.
That's another good one.
Absolutely loved them, to be fair. And we've got a band called the Shires as well, which country duo who are fantastic as well. So yeah, that's probably where we'd go.
Yeah, I you know that you brought up that whole drama of Fleetwood Mac. I mean, they're watching. They have a couple documentaries, so if you ever get a chance, to the audience, go watch them, because just the intertwinings of the relationships that happened within that band, and then on and off and during performances. It's
No wonder they got so many good songs, didn't it? Really, with all the drama that went on. But yeah, I mean, incredible stories. But how they managed to stay, together, not together for so long is incredible.
Yeah, it really is. I think just until now they kicked out Lindsay. Yeah. Anyways, great band. So now you two have taken over for the road trip in the White Lightning, but now you can fit one more, or even two if you'd like, in the truck for a co-pilot going coast to coast. Dead or alive musician, who do you got?
I'd say Luke Combs and Tennille Towns.
Right. Okay. So you're going singing. So
Yeah,
I'm
because lyrically they're just like God. Absolutely love all the music and how it's written, and I just
I'm
fangirl on them.
going Eric Clapton or Mark Knopfler.
Could you imagine if you really were in a pickup truck, with the old school pickup truck and a bed, and you got one seat in the middle, and all of a sudden you got Eric Clapton or Luke Combs sitting in between you two, just sharing stories?
I'd have no four of them in.
It would
I'd
be
be like,
incredible, wouldn't it? Yeah, absolutely.
Turn on the radio, you're just singing along.
It would be incredible. I would love that.
So we're all going through, there's a whole crew of us going through your phone for a playlist. Is there a song, a band, musician that might surprise us, maybe even embarrass you?
not embarrass, but we'd have Metallica in there.
I could tell. Like, you just love rock music.
Everyone says that. You can just tell.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I love Alter Bridge as well. And then going back further, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin are amazed because our music is so mellow. And then when we start talking about Metallica or Alter Bridge, people are like, wow, really? We've just covered a song by Alter Bridge, actually, that's going to be on our new EP because we love them so much.
This is a good segue. So you guys did great. What do you have coming up? I mean, you just mentioned now, you just explained you have a new EP, and I want to talk about Earl here in a second, but what do you have going on, I guess, and what do we have to look forward to? You just said in September, but what else you guys have? Or if you want to talk about that EP.
10th of September, we've got a new EP coming out, which is called Love, Loss and Life Lessons. What else are we up to?
Well, on that EP, we've got Earl and As Much As I Miss You.
Yeah,
and then, as I've just mentioned, so the Canadian band Alter Bridge, we're covering Wonderful Life on that EP. And then we've got 3 other tracks as well. So we're very excited about that. We're also very active on Twitch as well. So we stream at least 3 times a week on Twitch, and it's a community that's really growing for us and really helping us to reach all parts of the world, really. Because I think in the modern age that we live in, I think you've got to do that, really. And I think it's quite restrictive, really, doing gigs, particularly in the UK at the moment. So that's what we are putting all our energy into at the moment.
Yeah, I wanted to actually talk about this. I'm glad you brought up Twitch. So, I'm sure a lot of people, if you haven't heard of it, it was known for a lot of game streaming, video games, but you two have really taken advantage of it as using it as a performance base. And so how has that been going?
It's fantastic. To be honest, I think a lot of social medias are getting a bit negative at the moment, like Facebook especially can be, but Twitch it's not like a community, it's like a family. They're not afraid to give you the feedback, and it's not nasty. You can just...
It's such fun, isn't it?
Yeah,
really?
I just love it.
People are throwing bits at you, people are gift subbing, there's hype trains running in the background, there's all sorts of, I think the days of just sitting there playing music, life's moved on, people want more.
But you're reaching people that you wouldn't reach going to a gig an hour up the road. So we had people in the other day from Singapore and India, different states of America and
Canada.
Norway. Yeah. It was just absolutely phenomenal. I think we did get in Twitch just at the right time as well, because we were talking about this the other day. I think if we would have been a little bit later when things started opening back up, I think we'd be finding it a little bit harder. But everyone's been so nice and so welcoming, and it's not as like all the streamers are so supportive of one another, because you raid someone as well after you've finished your stream, so you taking all your people who are watching it and going into them and getting to enjoy their music, and everyone's just loving building everyone up. It's really nice.
From what I've noticed, not a lot of musicians have taken advantage, and maybe it's different in the UK, but have taken advantage of Twitch. And like you just said, Adele, that if at that time, it was a great time to take advantage of Twitch because things were locking down. So you have your new single that came out in June called Earl, and it's a great video, but again, Andy, some great songwriting and singing, but from Adele. But I wanted to talk about the song specifically. How did you guys come up with that?
So traditionally we've written about our own experiences, and I think there came a point earlier on in the year when I said, right, I want to do something that's slightly different. I want to write about things that that have happened either a long time ago or could be happening now that we don't know about. I wanted to really challenge myself in terms of the writing process. I think it was really sort of like thinking about books that I've read, films that I've seen, and so on and so forth. And I started thinking about some of the racial tension that was going on in this country, well, throughout the world really. And I think that got me down the line of when I was a kid. I watched a program called Roots. One of my favourite books is To Kill a Mockingbird, and it kind of got me thinking about what sort of racial injustice may have happened many moons ago. And so I kind of pictured a boy working in a cotton field in the 19th century, and kind of thought, well, how do these people get exploited? And then it kind of got me thinking about a girl who maybe had a bit of an affair with somebody, got pregnant. In those days you couldn't get pregnant out of wedlock, and thinking about, well, how would she get out of that? Of course, the story evolved where she blamed the boy, although he'd done nothing nothing wrong at all. And of course, everybody believed it. And he got sentenced and basically was imprisoned, put on death row. And then at some point, the girl must have thought, wow, this has gone a bit too far now. I better own up. But unfortunately, at the time when she owned up was the time when he was being executed. And we imagine the scene of a warden running in saying, stop the execution. He's not guilty. He hasn't done anything at all. And of course, it was too late because he'd already been executed. So it was, quite a sad story. But, we were hoping it kind of emphasised, what can happen if,
what has happened.
Or what has happened and what can happen if people simply, use racial injustice. And so, again, proud of that song.
Yeah, no, it's a great video too. So if you don't mind, how did you guys come up with the video?
We couldn't actually go out to film because when it was done, we were still in lockdown. Some recording was done at home.
Yeah, we started to do it ourselves, and then we quickly realised actually we needed to get somebody a bit better than ourselves, and we employed a girl called Liv Tide, and she did an absolutely fantastic. She's so creative.
Yeah, she could see this once we'd explained everything and we give her the words, and she wanted to listen to the song properly before she did anything. She was so professional. We had storyboards, and she helped us shoot from home because we didn't have a clue, so she was like telling us the angles and
the footage she managed to uncover were the pictures that we saw in her head, and it was just incredible. So it was almost as seamless as the two of us are when we're writing a song, really, by working with Liv. Yeah,
it's done very well. And so I wanted to now promote you two. And how do we find you? How do we listen to you, follow you?
So if you go onto any of the music streaming platforms, you can just search Adele and Andy and you see us. On Facebook, it's Adele and Andy. We are on Instagram, which is Adele and Andy's music with underscores in between. Twitter is Adele and Andy 1, but our main platform at the moment, it is Twitch. If you want to come and join us for our live streams, we are there every Wednesday, Friday and Sunday night at 8:30 p.m. British Summer Time. And there's lots of laughs.
We'd love you to come over because it's such good fun, and you can request your own songs. There's covers and originals there. We talk about the songwriting process and generally just have a laugh, really.
Talk about lots of rubbish. Yeah. I do. Anyway, it's brilliant. It's lots of fun.
Well, we will definitely check that out. I love that you are on Twitch, and this is for everyone checking that out, something new, and you'll definitely see us on there. So we wanted to promote the new video of Earl, but unfortunately we do have to let you go. So if you don't mind, I would love to play it for our audience. We have to kick you out, but we're going to play the video instead of having to play the song, and that's just because I love the video so much. But you two, Adele and Andy, thank you so much for joining us with Bandwagon TV. It's been such a pleasure. In Staffordshire and in England, and it's been a blast. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Phil. We've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, you too, and good luck, and I hope to see you in Texas one of these days.
I'll have to come over to Texas. I really enjoy it, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
She felt so much shame. They lost all control, needed someone to blame. And Earl with the fields on her papa's farm. The boy had a smile and it worked like a charm. She flirted with him all of the time, but Earl, he never stepped out of line. The brother's revenge was easy to see. The girl that cried rape and he got the plea. girl she had lied. Too little, too late, his mother, she cried. The girl was charged and taken away, but nothing could change the injustice that day. Earl sat in silence, doing his time. An innocent boy had committed no crime. A death row party, minutes too late. A flawed system had sealed his fate. Everything stopped as he ended the call. He hung his head low, but Earl wasn't guilty at all. Na 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 na. But Earl wasn't guilty at all. Na 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 na. Each year in September, a vigil took place for the boy they remembered with a smile on his face. Locked in a cell, doing his time. An innocent boy had committed no crime. Everything stopped as he ended the call. He hung his head low, but Earl wasn't guilty at all. Na 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 na. But Earl wasn't guilty at all. Na 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 na. But Earl wasn't guilty at all. Earl sat in silence, doing his time. But Earl wasn't guilty at all. Death row party, minutes too late. But Earl wasn't guilty at all.
I wondered if today's a wash or it's a wish, and you just seem to come my way. Yeah, you might take a picture, love, 'cause this could be our lucky day. Oh yeah, you might take a picture, love, 'cause this could be our lucky day.